Previewing Week 8 in the NFL here at SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We're talking right now with Jeff Grant, sports betting writer for the Bleacher Report. Jeff, thanks for coming back with us.
Great to be with you again, Peter.
Yes, I gave you a couple of tough NFL games this week. Let's see what you have to say about them. The first one I asked you to talk about was the Redskins at Steelers. Steelers are a 4.5-point home favorite. The Steelers, of course, very good at home in general, and they've got a bunch of injuries, but they're playing pretty well despite them. The Redskins, though, that was generally an impressive game against the Giants. Robert Griffin played a great game. They're running the ball well, and they even held down Eli Manning for most of the game, although not the whole game. They didn't get a win, but they did get a cover. To me, this line of the Steelers at home minus 4.5 looks about right, but if gun to my head, I'd take the Skins plus the points. What do you think?
My suggestion for viewers, based on the recent action in the NFL this year, is when you're going to start handicapping games, you need to start looking toward favorites and home favorites especially. Underdogs have been incredible this year. I've been reading a lot of things out of Las Vegas. Bookmakers are kind of getting tired of it, to be honest, in terms of now the public cashing in on the underdogs. And I look for home favorites to start striking at a more consistent rate. That's how I kind of handicap this game. I need to find out a few reasons to back the Steelers. They've alternated wins and losses in each game this year, so they're coming off a win against a division opponent. So it may be a letdown spot in terms of the betting market for people looking at the past performances of these teams. But this is the only home game for the Steelers in a 4-week span. They're going on the road to face the defending Super Bowl champions next week. That's no gimme. And due to the amount of research and writing that I do in the sports betting industry, I remembered a stat from last year with the Steelers defense, even though they're going to be without Troy Polamalu. There was a stat that stuck with me because of Andy Dalton and a few other rookie quarterbacks that this Steelers defense and Dick LeBeau, their defensive coordinator, it really triggered when handicapping against Robert Griffin III. The Steelers are 13-1 against first-year quarterbacks in the last 9 seasons. That's why I'm looking to lay the points with the Steelers.
Interesting take. Yeah, I mean, I could see this as being sort of a letdown spot for the Skins because they went into the Giants and played a tough, close game. They lost. They also haven't had a bye this year. But is Griffin really like the typical rookie quarterback? I mean, is he like the third most accurate passer in the NFL right now, or the most accurate passer? I mean, he's having a great year. He's really not playing like a rookie, is he? He even bounced back from a concussion.
He's definitely dynamic, and he's definitely not Blaine Gabbert, and he's definitely not Andy Dalton.
Right.
I can definitely agree with that. But the Steelers were laying probably 7 to 10 points in those games rather than 4.5, 4. So this is factored in how good Robert Griffin III has been. Now, the Redskins have run the football with tremendous success. They're leading the NFL. A lot of that has to do with Robert Griffin III out of the backfield. They're doing it again. Mike Shanahan's finding people to plug in at the running back position and gain yards on the ground. The Steelers are not the same defense as they've been in the past, but they are tremendously difficult to run the football against at Heinz Field, and there's a lot of factors that build into that. Also, Robert Griffin III, due to that fact, is going to have to find ways of making third down conversions through the passing game. Significant injuries are starting to hit this team as well. You touched on the fact that the Pittsburgh Steelers have been injured and hit by the injury bug. They finally meet an opponent this week that's dealing with the same amount of critical injuries, not just injuries, critical injuries. Tight end Fred Davis, leading receiver for the Redskins, really an outlet for Robert Griffin III on third down conversions, out for the year. Another reason why I like the Steelers. There are rain showers forecast in the Pittsburgh area for the next couple days leading into the weekend. Robert Griffin III is not going to be able to run as well on Heinz Field's turf as he would on any other natural grass surface or on the turf. Heinz Field, historically, and we know this, is one of the worst surfaces in the NFL. That's another reason why I like laying the points with the Steelers.
There you go. I'm convinced, Jeff Grant, and I'm also starting to think maybe under 47.5 might be good.
I was looking in that direction, and another thing is the Steelers are holding the football for a tremendous amount of time this year. over 34 minutes they've held the ball. So I think that's another factor to consider when handicapping the total. But I just got an email from Jimmy Vaccaro, the leading voice of William Hill out of Las Vegas, and I immediately got off the under when he suggested that he thinks Robert Griffin III is going to have a big day without Polamalu. I don't necessarily agree, but I'm not going to play the total due to the fact that he said that. But due to all the factors, I'm going to shoot back the email and shoot him the video going, this is why I like the Steelers. Maybe the under is the way to go, but I'm not going to play the total.
Wow, look at this. Look who we have as guests on these preview shows. Jeff Grant, all the connections. Thanks, man. Great preview.